Scroll in the tube, found a star in the chaos. Duty spitting facts like a modern day seance. Trending waves, politics in the spotlight. Raw with the wit, hits you sharp like a frostbite. Come on, y'all, let's discuss her anthem, her creed. Breaking down the drama, uncovering the greed. Laugh through the truth, it's enlightenment with flair. 2D talk sense, ain't no nonsense over there. Come on, we tuned into 2D's vibe. High energy keeps the convo alive. From scandals to news, she...
Hey y'all, hey, welcome to 2D Talksness. You know, yesterday there was the tragic shooting in Minnesota. So we're gonna discuss that, and we're gonna also discuss the Mary J. Blige lawsuit was dismissed. So come on, y'all, let's discuss. Now, I did the video yesterday about the shooting that was in Minnesota, and I tried to slow down the video to get a more clearer view of exactly what happened. And like I said, it wasn't, because when I did it, it was the first things that was coming out. You could go watch the video from yesterday, and there I showed you a couple of news articles, news clippings, showed you Christy Nome, and I probably call her Christine or something because I don't really care what her name is. But because she's cosplay, like she goes and find outfits and dress up, and this is a whole damn like reenactment for her. That's DEI at its finest. But I showed you Christy Nome response to this. I showed you the mayor of Minnesota who told Minneapolis, who told ICE to get the fuck out of his city. I don't know if I showed you some of Tim Walz, but Tim Walz also responded to this incident. Yes, because I talked about that he's not going to run for re-election in the cycle coming up. So I just want to give a quick update. First, let me say condolences to the family, because I don't even know with everything that happened yesterday if I even said it in the video. I think I didn't, because I was too busy trying to cover the live things, and that's a fault of mine. So condolences to her family. And I just think it's a tragic thing that should have never happened. I don't think it was called for. I find it ironic that the people whose main thing was that on January 6th, the lady who lost her life on January 6th, that they said that was horrific, and how that wasn't called for, and that how there was a whole burial in between her, and she was trying to climb through the wall, like trying to climb through a barrier that the police had set up to get to the senators, you know, that whole big riot that happened on January 6th. And the same people who are saying that her unaliving was tragic is saying that this one is justified. It's insane to me. So I still, again, condolences to her family, but it have came out, and I said it yesterday. I said I don't think this is an immigrant, because if you watch the news enough, you begin to figure out the way that the news, the way that they, I won't say brainwash, but the way they run a story, the rhetoric behind things. So I said yesterday, if this was an immigrant, the first thing they would have said was the immigrant was shot by ICE while trying to escape. It would have been immigrant somewhere in the title. They'll somehow tell you, you know, that this person was very much they will tell you up front that this person was an immigrant. So since that wasn't in the title, it was just in a woman, I was like, I don't believe this is an immigrant. I believe this is a U.S. citizen that was shot and unalived by ICE. And sure enough, it came out today that this is a U.S. citizen that was shot and unalived by ICE. So yesterday I was like, you can watch the video, in my opinion, on what I feel like, but pretty much boiled down, I don't feel like it was necessary, but I do not know if she's going to receive justice because of the way they are already spinning the narrative without an investigation, the way they are already telling the stories. And it seems like Republicans are on one side, Democrats are on the other, when the Republicans are in control of the DOJ pretty much. that, you know, whatever Donald Trump them say, them tell them to do, to direct them to do, that's what they do. And if they don't, then he's gonna fire them and find somebody who will. Which put America in a hard situation, because now how do you trust what has been told from the DOJ? How do you trust the investigations? How do you, it's a whole avalanche. Um, but and that's my personal opinion, is that I don't think it was justified. It does not seem like that he was in imminent threat or feared his life, because of the way that if she came out, she was blocking the road. Yes. And when one agent rolled past the car, another one, um, one car of ICE agents rolled past, another one came and stopped, and they get out and start yanking on her door for her to get out. But you hear one telling her to get the fuck out of here, where she reversed. And, you know, that's when the guy yanking on the door, she reversed, she turned her wheel to try to go around to get out. And that's when the shooting happens. So to me, the guy was, yesterday I couldn't figure out if he was standing in the front or he was standing on the side. I said, but either way, to me, it didn't make a difference because of what happened afterwards. He didn't have to jump out the way. He didn't have to, because once he discharged his firearm, you can see he was still standing in the same spot, and the lady rolled off, the vehicle rolled off and crashed. So if you didn't have to do nothing but this, like, I don't see how this is imminent danger. But with this DOJ, I would assume that I don't I don't know with this if the state can pick it up, or was this a federal case because it's an ICE agent, and if it's federal, I don't even know if its charges will come up. The Democrats are calling for it, the Republicans are saying that it's justified. So the update today, I want to it's came out of who the victim was, which is a lady named Renee Good. I'm gonna bring up the article, but I don't know if it's gonna say it in the article because I haven't really read it. I was watching something else where they said that she was a mother, and I believe just her father is alive and he's not in that area. And when they called him to inform him, all he was saying, like, I need to get my grandson. So, like, can you guys, like, don't send my grandson to, like, I'm on my way to get my grandson. I have to get her child because somebody had recently passed. So I don't know if it was the child father or somebody else in the family, but I know her father is the one who had to come get the grandson. So let's read this article. And again, condolences to her family. And I do not believe that this is a necessary cause of action. But this is what happens when you try and talk about, you get rid of DEI because they're not qualified, but you pull these people off the street. They did decrease the amount of training that ICE agents had to have. They decreased, they reduced I did a video on them reducing the physical aspect, the physical tests. Like, they reduced the, I want to say the numbers, setups, and the physical aspect of the test was reduced because the agents wasn't paying it. The agents wasn't able to pass it, so they reduced it. So I'm like, you get a bunch of unqualified masked men here yanking on this woman's door, or not even in this situation, just period. Because law enforcement, FBI, police, they go through a certain amount of training. And yes, this stuff does happen with police, but this instance, like, maybe we don't know for sure, but maybe it could have been different if the agent was more qualified. Now, to be fair, I do not know this agent qualifications. What I'm talking about is in general is the qualifications that is required of ICE. So let me show you the article, and this is just the update about the young lady who was unalived by ICE. This is from Global News. So Renee Nicole Good, what we know about the woman killed in Minnesota ICE shooting. Matter of fact, I'm gonna see if I could just play the video and not read the articles, because a lot of times it will tell you.
Social media video shows ICE agents pulling up to an SUV on a
I'm
suburban.
gonna try to go back because I seen the first car. That first car went around. So what Christy Nome said is that she blocked the thing, used her cars around blocking the ICE agents in. But as you can see, one car went around. There's enough room to go around. But let's continue this video.
Social media video shows ICE agents pulling up to an SUV on a suburban street. An officer then opens fire, killing the 37-year-old woman behind the wheel. This witness says he saw it all unfold.
The agent who was on the driver's side originally, who was not pulling on the handle but had been there prior to that, shot 2 or 3 times through the driver's side window. The car drove a 30, 40 feet and crashed into another car in the telephone pole.
After the deadly confrontation, protests erupted in the city, now at the center of U.S. President Donald Trump's latest immigration crackdown. The mayor of Minneapolis condemned the shooting as reckless and delivered this message.
To ICE, get the f*** out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here.
It was an act of domestic terrorism.
Speaking in Texas, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem defended ICE's actions as self-defense.
A woman attacked them and those surrounding them and attempted to run them over and ram them with her vehicle.
Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bull.
On Tuesday, the Trump administration began deploying 2,000 federal agents to the city, calling it the largest immigration operation ever. It's tied in part to allegations of fraud involving members of the Somali community. On social media, Trump called the woman who was screaming in the video a professional agitator and claimed the driver viciously ran over the ICE officer. He also blamed the radical left.
We do not need any further help from the federal government. To Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, you've done enough.
A fatal escalation, inflaming tensions in Minneapolis and across the United States. Taria Isri, Global News, Montreal.
Okay, so that's the video. I'm gonna see if the article says anything different to tell you more about the victim.
For decades and generations.
Let me go down. Okay, a woman shot by the U.S. Immigration and Custom Enforcement ICE agents in Minneapolis on Wednesday has been identified as Renee Nicole Good. The fatal shooting marks the latest incidents in the U.S. President Donald Trump countrywide crackdown on migrants. It's at least the 5th person killed in a handful of states since 2024, according to the Associated Press. As y'all know, I'm from Chicago. So when ICE was here in Chicago over the summer, this instance, it was, the guy was actually immigrant. So I believe that's probably why it didn't make the rounds of the news like you would think it would. But they also had the video of it. He was pulled over by ICE and he tried to drive away when ICE came up to his car. So there was 2 ICE agents, and you can look it up. It's Franklin Park. I believe I did a video about this as well, but it's Franklin Park, which is the western suburbs of Chicago. And 2 agents came and he tried to drive away. One stepped away and let him drive away. The other one held on to the car and shot him. And he ended up, he passed. He didn't make it. So I'm like, this seems very similar, except no agents was hanging on to the car. She just needs to get the fuck out of here. She tried to drive away and they unalived her. So that's why they said similar. That's the one that I know about. This one says that this is the 5th person since 2024. And mind you, it won't make a year until January 20th. Good was a 37-year-old mother of 3. And a U.S. citizen born in Colorado who had recently moved to Minnesota. Video taken by bystanders show an officer approaching Good's car, demanding she open the door and grabbing a handle. When she begins to pull forward, a different ICE agent standing near the vehicle pulled his weapon and fired at least 2 shots into the vehicle at close range. In another video taken after the shooting, a woman is seen sitting near the vehicle saying, "That's my wife. I don't know what to do." Good ex-husband, who asked not to be named out of concern for the safety of their children, told the Associated Press that she had just dropped her 6-year-old son off at school and was driving home with her current partner when they encountered a group of ICE agents on a snowy street in Minneapolis, where they had moved last year from Kansas City, Missouri. Trump officials referred to Good as a domestic terrorist and said she had attempted to ram federal agents with her car. Tricia McLaughlin, a spokesperson for the Department of Homeland Security, said on X that the Immigration and Customs Enforcement officer began firing after a violent rioter weaponized her vehicle. And when was there a riot? After a violent rioter weaponized her vehicle and attempted to run over ICE agents. We ain't talking about January 6th. What is going on here? Where did this riot happen at? Are we still talking about January 6th? No, we're talking about this Nicole that just happened. That there was a violent rioter. She attempted to run over ICE officer and attempt to kill them. McLaughlin said it was an act of domestic terrorism, and she confirmed that the ICE agent who had injuries from the shooting are expected to make full recovery. What injuries? Can we see some type of injuries from this officer? Because according to that video, he barely had to move. I'm gonna show you another video because I was looking yesterday to try to get a closer shot. Somebody else, Jolly, is his name Jolly Ginger? He actually has a video where it shows that the ICE agent wasn't actually in front of the car when he fired. He was on side of it. So I'm going to show you that too. Good ex-husband says she was not an activist and that he have never known her to participate in a protest of any kind. He described her as a devoted Christian. So where is Nikki? Where's Nikki Owens, who said she went to MAGA and wanted to stand up on this stage and be with Charlie Clerk, widower, be with Erica Coe because of the Christians who was getting killed in Nigeria. This is right here in the U.S. This lady is a Christian, Nikki Owens. Where are you? But let's continue. He described her as a devoted Christian who took part in youth mission trips to Northern Ireland when she was younger. She loved to sing, participating in chorus in high school, and studying vocal performance in college. Who was Renee Goodman? On her social media account, Good described herself as a poet and writer and wife and mom. She was currently experiencing in Minneapolis. She studied creative writing at Old Dominion. Like, I am messing up that road because there's a Dominican university here that teachers go to, but that's why I'm messing that up, y'all. University in Virginia, and won a prize in 2020 for one of her works, according to the post on the school English department Facebook page. Good bio on the Facebook page said, when she is not writing, reading, or talking about writing, she has movie marathons and makes messy art with her daughter and 2 sons. Good's ex-husband said she had been a stay-at-home mom in recent years, but had previous work as a dental assistant and at a credit union. She had also hosted a podcast with her second husband, Timmy Macklin Jr., who died in 2003 at the age of 36. And that's what I thought I heard, because I want to say the 6-year-old son that they said she had dropped off, that Timmy is the father. That's why her father was like, his dad just died. Now his mom died. I need to go down there and get my grandson, because they said he died in 2023 at the age of 36. Her second husband, because this is statements from her first husband. Good has a daughter and a son from her first marriage who are now 15 and 12. Yep, her 6-year-old son is from her second marriage. Let me make sure. Did I ever? Yeah, I shared it. I always be forgetting. It comes up so small. I haven't figured out how to make the article bigger yet. But Timmy Macklin Sr., Macklin's father, told the Tribune he was shocked to hear the news and spoke about his 6-year-old grandchild. There's nobody in his life, Macklin said. I'll fly to come and get my grandchild. And that's a picture there of Renee Goodman. Donna Ganger, God's mother, told the outlet that the family was notified of the death late Wednesday morning. Ganger called Good one of the kindest people I ever known and said she was not part of anything like that at all, referring to protesters challenging ICE. She was extremely compassionate, Ganger told the Tribune. She's taken care of people all of her life. She was loving, forgiving, and affectionate. She was an amazing human being. The old Dominican presidents, Brian O. Hemphill, following the news of Good's death. May Renee's life be a reminder of what unites us: freedom, love, and peace. My hope is for compassion, healing, and reflection at a time that is becoming one of the darkest and most uncertain periods in our nation history. I mean, VP Harris said that, but y'all said she was over exaggerating. And it wouldn't happen like that if Trump got elected, but looky loo. And I'm not saying that to to push aside what happened. What happened was tragic, and it should have never happened. This is the reason why I have posted. There was a post that I did about the ICE agents here when they was here in Illinois, and you could typically tell we would guess when there was ICE, because I live in the area that they were by, the Broadview area that they would by. And you would see the cars, and they will be flying down the street. And you're like, that's probably ICE. Not because they're just flying, but because they drove in like at least 2-3 in a row. And yes, they was flying. And I did a video of one of the agents that was caught in DUI. Galero, he was Hispanic. I can't remember his name, but he was Hispanic ICE agent that was calling a DUI out here. And there was people, black people, who saying like, this is not our problem. Why are you talking about this? I said, because it does not stop with the Hispanics, especially since they made a law that it's pretty much legal to racial profile. And this was before they started coming after Somalians who, unless they start talking, can you tell us apart? Not really. And the Haitians, and like I said, to me, it's not gonna stop with the immigrants. If you give them free reign, who to say that if you say something that they don't like, or you try to protest, they could just snatch you and say, I believe you're an immigrant, then ship you over, then you'll have to fight to get back. I said, it may start with them, but it probably won't end with them. That's you give an inch is gonna take a mile. Like, and as the black community, I believe that we have seen the history of America, and we typically are in the crossfires when shit go bad. So pay attention to what happens, because 9 times out of 10, it's gonna trickle down and it's gonna affect us. This was a white woman here, and her family is saying that she wasn't a part of any protest. They are saying that she blocked the road, but as of now, no one knows because Kristi Noem, the Republicans, the DOJ are saying that the ICE vehicles was stuck in the snow, and they was trying to dig themselves out the snow. And how do we know she wasn't? Because she reversed back, and then she was like, how do you know she wasn't? But whatever the reason that she was there, it still shouldn't have ended like this, to me, in my opinion. This morning, an ICE agent shot and killed Renee Nicole Goodman, a member of the community. The statement said Renee was a resident of our city who was out caring for her neighbors this morning, and her life was taken today at the hands of the federal government. And also, they said, I want to say this was about 4 blocks from where George Floyd lost his life, and she lived in that area. So that's why it's still not clear of why she was there, because yes, ICE was there. Yes, people are in Minneapolis alerting neighbors and things when ICE is in the neighborhood, like whether it's in their car streaming it, bullhorn screaming that the ICE is in the thing. But that has not been determined as of yet if she was a part of any of that. Anyone who knows someone in our city deserves to be arrested, investigated, and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Well, I'm sorry. Anyone who kills someone in our city deserves to be arrested, investigated, and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Wait, I'm reading somebody's statement. I think I skipped over. Members of the Minneapolis City Council released a joint statement, and this is their joint statement. And to me, even if she was infringing on ICE, yes, she shouldn't have done it. Then yes, she should have been pulled over, arrested, and faced the whatever was the consequences for that. And the consequences for that, it's the same way with unarmed Black people are gunned down by the police. You're not supposed to be the juror and the executioner, the judge, juror, and executioner. That's not the way America is supposed to be set up. So if she was doing something wrong, blocking the investigation, impeding the investigation of ICE, ICE activities, slowing down ICE activities, then she should have been arrested. But to me, no. But we'll see if anybody is prosecuted for that. We are united in our support of the immigrant community and our residents in the wake of these attacks. We demand that ICE immediately leave our city so we can get rid of their chaos and violence that ended the life of one of our neighbors today. Minnesota State Representative Leah Fink paid tribute to Good in a post on Facebook, writing, "My heart is absolutely broken. Rest in peace, Renee Good. You deserve a full life with your wife and child, a whole beautiful world to live and explore. I am sorry you could not have it. Love your people boldly and all the time." At a press conference Wednesday, Minnesota Mayor Jacob said he had reviewed footage of the incidents and accused federal authorities of spending the shooting as an act of self-defense and argument he said was bullshit. This was an agent recklessly using power that resulted in somebody dying. We dreaded this moment since the early stages of this ICE presence in Minneapolis. After the shooting, the priority then became to get ICE off the scene, whose presence, he said, caused chaos and was problematic. We have a message for ICE. Get the fuck out of Minnesota. I'm sorry, get the fuck out of Minneapolis. I put the whole state there, but he said Minneapolis. He urged community members not to take actions that could be used to justify federal escalation, because you know that the last time that Trump was in office, when there was I don't know, he wasn't even in office then, but he wanted to send federal government to any protest and said, "Oh well, can't you just shoot him in the leg?" So what they're trying to avoid is that he's in office now, even though he didn't send them troops through when it was January 6th. It took a long time for him to call the federal to call the, what do you call it? It's not the federal troops, y'all. I am drawing a blank. The reserves. It took a long time for him to send the reserves during the January 6th. That he's just itching for a protest to send them now. Do not take the bait. They want an excuse to come in and show the kind of force that would create more chaos. Oh, I clicked on something. And more despair. Let's not let them. Let's rise to this occasion. Let's show them far more beautiful than the kind of division that they're trying to stoke. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, having previous ex-residents to remain calm, echoed the same sentiments. I seen a video. Don't believe this propaganda machine. The state will ensure that it's a full, fair, and expeditious investigation to ensure accountability and justice. I said, because I don't know, because what's already going around is that, Trump are just pardoning people left and right that he feels like, okay, oh, this is about drugs, but he pardoned, another person who was convicted of sending 400 tons of drugs to the U.S. So I'm like, they're like, even if he get convicted, how do we know Trump is not going to pardon him? So I don't know. Y'all drop down in the comments. If y'all know, let me know that if it's state, is Trump, because Trump is federal, is he still able to pardon someone if they charge this ICE agent in a state court instead of federal court? Now, I'm not sure about that. That's something y'all would have to inform me about. I am beyond outraged that their reckless, callous actions led to the killing of a legal observer in Minneapolis. My heart breaks for the victim family who will have to forever live with pain caused by the Trump administration reckless and deadly actions. This is not law enforcement, it is state violence. It is simply indefensible, and ICE must be held accountable, Representative Omar said. So I don't want to read what everybody says. Let me read ICE because I read the Democrats. Let me read the Republicans. I want every ICE agent. This is from JD Vance, the Vice President of the United States. I want every ICE agent to know that their president, vice president, and entire administration stands behind them. So that's pretty much giving, that ain't even a dog whistle. It's just saying, I mean, if you kill somebody, yeah, we got your back. To the radicals assaulting them, doxing them, and threatening them, congratulations. We're going to work even harder to enforce the law. Because then what I have seen, being reported is that in Minneapolis, they found out where the ICE agents' hotels were, and there are protesters gathering outside their hotel and playing music to the max, and because they don't want the ICE agents to get any rest. So the doxing I haven't seen, but this is what JD Vance have said. The head of the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension said Thursday that the U.S. Attorney Office had barred it from taking part in the investigation. And so, without complete access to the evidence, witnesses, and information collected, we cannot meet the investigation standard that Minnesota law and the public demands. As a result, the BCA has reluctantly withdrawn from the investigation. The BCA Force Investigation Unit was designed to ensure consistency, accountability, and public confidence, none of which can be achieved without full cooperation and judicial clarity. So yeah, that's the latest on what's going on in Minnesota. And again, condolences to Renee Nicole Good and her family. Oh, I want to show y'all the video of the Jolly Green. What is his name? Jolly Good Ginger is his name. So I'm gonna show y'all that video. Then we're gonna move on to the Mary J. Blige lawsuit. Let me do that really quick. Yeah. Okay. I think you guys can see it. Yes. Let me add it. Okay.
Shots were fired. I need you to pay attention to the location of the vehicle and the location of the Gestapo thug that shot the weapon. This is the moment shots were fired. Look at it right here. He is clearly standing beside the vehicle at the exact moment shots are fired.
Because what has been said by the Republicans is that he was in front of the vehicle and she tried to run him over. This is the video of him being at the side, and you can see the dust from the glass shattering or from the smoke from, I would assume, the firearm. You can see that he's on the side, and that's what's going on. Because I'm not mistaken, the last that I heard, it was maybe one from the front and two from the side, but because there is a shot in the windshield. So let me let y'all see what he said.
Now, if you juxtapose that to the statement that DHS put out that this person was weaponizing their vehicle, it is immediately debunked by the fact that he's standing beside the vehicle when he fires the shot. In the DHS statement, they also say that he was in fear for his life and the life of his fellow officers. You can clearly see that all the fellow officers are behind and beside the vehicle. Nobody's life is in danger. Also, we are learning that the person driving the vehicle was a legal observer who was there to observe ICE and who is probably an attorney, a lawyer, has some legal training, because legal observers usually have legal training, which means they know their rights. If you watch the whole video, these other ICE agents got out of the vehicle and tried to yank her car door open, telling her to get out of the vehicle. She knows her rights. She knows they don't have any jurisdiction over U.S. citizens. So she backed up. Her backing up shows her intent not to hit anybody with her vehicle. She then turns the wheel to aim it away from the agents. And as she drives past the agents, again, I want to reiterate, they are standing beside the vehicle when they shoot her. This is just a narrative being formed to justify this extrajudicial killing of which they had no authority or jurisdiction to do. This is a United States citizen killed by people who were conducting an operation who did not have a judicial warrant signed by a judge to conduct that operation, who don't have proper police or de-escalation training, whose life was not in danger, and who are literally attacking a United States citizen of which they have no jurisdiction over. Now, here's my next concern. My next concern, they're going to try to make this a federal investigation so that the ICE agent is investigated and held accountable by the federal level so that they'll clear him of this crime and nothing will happen. Or if he does get charges, Trump can just pardon him. That's why they want to make it federal. Let's see what happens. And I want to reiterate two of the things the mayor of Minneapolis said. Number one, their story is bullshit. That's exactly what he said. It's bullshit. And number two, his message to ICE was to get the fuck out of Minneapolis. This is the moment shot.
Okay, so y'all see that? So that's what I just asked earlier. Like, if Minneapolis could take it over, and this state, will Trump be able to pardon him because that's federal? So, according to this video, that they're trying to make it federal so he can get, so the Trump pardon him could be an option. So, okay, yeah, that's it for that. Again, condolences to her and her family, and I will keep y'all updated on as more information comes out. Now, let's take a break. First of all, like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But hit all so you can see when I go live. I'm gonna try to keep this consistent and make it Monday through Friday. I don't know if y'all want 5 or 6. Right now, today I've been alternating. Well, not today. This week I have been alternating, I think, between 1 at 5, 6, and 7. And I'm going to see how the videos do so I can decide on what time I want to go with. But for the new subscribers, thank you for coming and thank you for watching. And for my old subscriber, hey, how y'all doing? Thank you for coming back. And of course, I always say,
thank you. You love me. You really love me.
okay, so let's get to this Mary J. Blige story. I covered this in a video too, y'all. I believe so. But if y'all don't know, this was Mary J. Blige was being sued by, I got an eczema outbreak that is driving me nuts. I got to make me some eczema salve. But Mary J. Blige was being sued by her ex-best friend Misa, if I'm not mistaken, that she was saying that she had an artist Vado that Mary J. Blige pretty much, threw that cougar on and took her artist from her. And she was demanding payment for Mary for this artist because she was like, Mary was going behind her back, bringing a guy on yachts and stuff and being all sexual and getting her artist with that cougar. So, and mind y'all, this is P. Diddy. Misa is P. Diddy baby mama of his first kid. I think it's Justin. Justin is his name. But Misa's P. Diddy baby mama. Now the judge didn't threw this lawsuit out because she didn't show up. I believe she didn't show up for the lawsuit. And when I first heard it, they was like the judge threw it out, but they threw it out without prejudice. And then the judge had stern words for when she bring the lawsuit back. And I thought it was like the judge telling her like, hey, you messed up. Like when you bring it back, make sure you do that. But now the judge like, don't bring this lawsuit back with the same bullshit because you wasting the court's time. I'm going to read y'all the news article and it's going to sum up everything that happened. And then we're going to get on up out of here, okay? Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Okay. Do you see it? Okay. I'm getting it together. Y'all, I got it a little bigger for y'all. This is blackenterprise.com that finna read this article from. Is the title up there? Mary J. Blige win dismissal in lawsuit filed by ex-BFS Misa Hylton. Mary J. Blige won the dismissal of a lawsuit filed by her longtime friend and stylist Misa Hylton, with the case thrown out without prejudice. And I'm like, without. Yeah, everything went out. I'm hoping that I'm in Chicago and it is raining. I mean, it's better than snow, but it is storming. So my internet is going in and out. So I am going to hurry up and finish this before we go out again. I'm gonna hurry up and finish this, y'all, before I go out again. So I'm gonna start over with the Mary J. Blige won her lawsuit. Let me add it. I'm gonna try to hurry up and finish this because it's still buffering, but it's recording. So let me try to hurry up. So if y'all don't know, Mary J. Blige was being sued by her ex best friend, who's also P. Diddy baby mama of the son Justin. Now, it was for an artist that she said that Mary pretty much put that cougar on him and stole her artist. So Mary J. Blige and Mary is my favorite. I think y'all cut off there, but Mary is my favorite. When I was in middle school, no, I was in elementary school, like third grade or something. I sang Mary for the talent show. I didn't win. Dismissed the case in response to Hilton missing the deadline to defend her claims that Blige tried to steal rapper Beto. See, it went out again. Dang it. Tried to steal. Let me see. Am I still there? Yeah. Okay. Tried to steal the rapper Vado. Is it Vado? From her management roster. Just fine, 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 fine. Woo! Fine, fine. Yeah, I'm over here just singing some Mary while this thing is trying to reconnect. You know, 11 years. Because I don't think this article is gonna come back up. But I'm gonna just summarize it for y'all. That I will try again. I think it's coming up. I'm gonna read it and I'm not gonna show it because I'm gonna try to get to it. When making her ruling, Judge Perry Bond sharply warned Hylton that her failure to respond to Blige's motion to dismiss constitutes the abandonment. Constitutes the abandonment of her claims. Perry Bond stopped short of imposing sanctions on Hylton, but expressed her frustration with the stylist in action. The court in no way condones parties filing lawsuits claiming millions in damages based on inflammatory accusations, only to have those very same parties abandon their allegations when faced with a motion to dismiss and sanctions. The judge wrote, plaintiffs and their counsel should consider this a warning to refrain from engaging in similar patterns of behaviors in the future. So, cut out again. So, y'all, that's pretty much what the judge has said. I'm going to get out of here because this storm is messing up my internet. Thank y'all for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me just wrap this up. The judge pretty much telling her, don't waste my damn time. You got me over here in this court. You done came up with all these allegations against Mary J. Blige. Then when it's time for you to come and prove it, and even with them having to saying they was going to dismiss the case, you still don't show up. You do this shit again, it's going to be trouble, trouble. That's what the judge pretty much said. So that's it about the Mary J. Blige case. It was dismissed without prejudice, so she can bring it back if she wants to. So I am finna get out of here. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to end it with what I typically do because I always
Have the day you voted for.
okay. I'll catch y'all next time.